It's a disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. When you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
This is the type of thing you've said about shutdowns in the past. Let's listen.
What if I persuaded my caucus to say I'm going to shut the government down, I am going to not pay our bills unless I get my way? It's a politics of idiocy, of confrontation, of paralysis. Shutting down government over a policy difference is self-defeating. We can never hold American workers hostage again. While the CR bill is very bad, the potential for a shutdown has consequences for America that are much, much worse. Therefore, I will vote to keep the government open and not shut it down.
That was you 3 times in the past. Go ahead. What's different this time?
Yeah, that was in March, John, before they had done these horrible
fraud. You lying dog. You criminal crook. We need term limits and handcuffs. They ought to walk your butt out. There's terrible things, horrible things done to healthcare, you know. Yeah. For illegals, huh? The hell with you, Chuck.
things to health care.
And I got to give CNN just a little bit of, CNN just called this butt out live on television, but I'm going to give CNN just a half a point. It's still the hell with CNN, though.
Before they had introduced these
that was you 3 times in the past. Go ahead. What's different this time?
Yeah, that was in March, John, before they had done these horrible things to health care, before they had introduced these rescissions which would allow them to ignore the budget process. When I was majority leader, we had 13 times to vote on a budget. Do you know why there was no shutdown? We sat and negotiated with the Republicans every time. They got some things, we got some things. They did not negotiate at all. Now that they've seen they can't bludgeon us, they can't roll us, hopefully they're going to sit down and negotiate.
It's midnight. The Republican shutdown has just begun because Republicans wouldn't protect America's health care. We are going to keep fighting for the American people.
I'm going to show you how hypocritical Chuck Schumer is. Watch this.
But I assure you, I assure the public, a shutdown would have been the greatest disaster we have, but the alternative being a shutdown makes things worse, and I believe this much worse. What if I persuaded my caucus to say I'm going to shut the government down, I'm going to not pay our bills unless I get my way?
There have been countless times Chuck Schumer has said this, but now that doesn't seem to matter. Some people say he's doing it because he's scared that he's going to get primaried by AOC. Also, we know the Democratic base is not happy with their leaders right now, so this could be them showing their base that they're fighting. Either way, it's hypocritical. And on top of that, they're trying to frame this as a Republican shutdown when they are using the filibuster in the Senate to stop this from getting through. Republicans want to pass a clean, continuing resolution to keep the government funded. Democrats are essentially trying to hijack the funding of the government in order to get policy changes, but they won't tell you that. And Chuck Schumer is the minority leader for the Democrats in the Senate. It's already passed in the House. The president wants to sign it. They are purposely stopping this from getting through, and they're trying to use funding the government as leverage to get more policy changes in their favor. That's what's happening.
All right, Stephen A. done put on his flip-flops. What you got for us now, Stephen A.?
This was Chuck Schumer in the year 1996.
This is an anti-fraud amendment. All over where we go, people say, well, why can't you stop illegal immigrants or others from coming here? And the number one answer we give our constituents is when they come here, they can get jobs, get benefits against the law because of fraud. And
this is beautiful. Y'all know we showed this on the show twice yesterday. Twice. I told you, everybody's showing it. Everybody's exposing it in broad daylight, and I love it. I love it, man. I love it. Because people are sick of these politicians. People are sick of these criminal, crook, lying dogs. God dog it, we need term limits and handcuffs. People need to be walked out, investigated, thrown against the wall, on the floor. I'm telling you, audited. I'm telling you, clean a bank, check everything, wipe clean, and that's my opinion. That's what I think ought to happen. And Chuck ought to be ashamed of himself. And it's not just him; it's many of them that back in the day. I'm telling you, not long ago. Let's put it that way. They sounded just like the 47th president of the United States. They sounded like they had a little bit of sense. But now he's the bad guy. Dictator, threat to democracy, Adolf, the big bad orange man. Our democracy's under attack. We're all a bunch of Nazis, fascists, racists. I'll tell you what, a disgrace.
Here, the gentleman from Florida has put together the most effective anti-fraud measure we can find without it changing the actions of the government one bit. And we find all this opposition. Ladies and gentlemen of this chamber, what I worry about is that this bill, which started out with good intentions, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, is going to end up being the same kind of thing that the public gets angry with us on. We say we're doing something, and we do nothing. Because every time someone makes a rational and small proposal to get something done, people say, well, what about this hypothetical, that hypothetical, etc. I urge support of this amendment. If you believe you want to stop fraud in immigration, you have no choice but to support this amendment.
And now you're fighting for more immigration. That was on Chuck Schumer's side because there's clearly some inconsistencies.
So the president's been posting some images of Leader Jeffries and Senator Schumer.
I saw
recently. You've said that you're interested in good faith negotiations with these leaders, but what message does that send? Is it helpful to post pictures of Leader Jeffries in a sombrero if you're trying to have good faith talks with him?
Oh, I think it's funny. The president's joking, and we're having a good time. You can negotiate in good faith while also poking a little bit of fun at some of the absurdities of the Democrats' positions, and even poking some fun at the absurdity of the Democrats themselves. I mean, I'll tell Hakeem Jeffries right now, I make this solemn promise to you that if you help us reopen the government, the sombrero memes will stop. And I've talked to the President of the United States about that. Now,
Look, guys, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, at least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too. Look, guys.
Yeah, you just can't make that up. I tell you, what a beautiful time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Oh boy, we got a new report saying shutdown backfires on Schumer. Trump has won. Let's check this out.
Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and the government shutdown has backfired massively on Senate Minority Leader and New York Senator Charles Schumer. And it's one of his own Democrats that's actually saying it.
Oh boy.
Before we get started, please make and they help our channel continue to grow. See, Senator Angus King, Democrat, he's one of the people that voted along with John Fetterman to keep the government open. Voted along with Republicans to keep the government open because they want to do the people's work. They want to. They think they believe actually what the Democrats have been saying for years, that there's really never a time for a government shutdown, and policy decisions can be negotiated later. Now, a Republican tactic is usually we're saying, hey, let's shut the government down and get this done. We switch sides here. It's kind of interesting. But Angus King points out something that I've been saying. You've been screaming for months, no kings, no kings, no kings, no kings in relation to Trump. That's your new Russia, Russia, Russia. And Democrats are great at slogans. Not really good at knowing what those slogans mean, but they're really good at slogans. And so they've been shouting no kings, right? No kings, no kings, no kings. And then you shut the government down, and essentially, you've given President Trump the power of a king. All those Doge cuts he wanted to make, he can make them now. Doesn't need Congress, doesn't need to look at you guys, doesn't need to ask you guys anything. You have cleared the path for him to do exactly what he wanted to do from day one. How ridiculous can you guys be? How can you make such an easy fumble? How do you do that? How do you make such a mistake? Doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense at all. I don't know how you can make that happen. And to walk right into it, it's almost like President Trump set a trap. It's almost like he was playing 4D chess and you were playing checkers. Maybe, Schumer, maybe that's exactly what happened. I want you guys to watch this and let me know what you think in the comments.
I just came from the Senate floor where I took one of the most difficult votes I've taken since I've been in the Senate. I voted to keep the government open for a continuing resolution. The irony of this vote is many feel that this was an opportunity to stand up to Donald Trump, to vote no, and to fight back. The irony, the paradox is by shutting the government, we're actually giving Donald Trump more power. And that was why I voted yes. I did not want to hand Donald Trump and Russell Vought and Stephen Miller additional power to decimate the federal government, to decimate the programs that are so important to so many people. Here is what Donald Trump said just this afternoon. We can do things during a shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them, he means the Democrats, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like. We can do things medically and other ways, including benefits. We can cut numbers of people out. Maya Angelou once said, if someone tells you who they are, you should believe them. Donald Trump, in this quote, tells us what he plans to do if there's a shutdown, and it will not be good for the American people. This was a difficult vote, but in the end, I could not, in good conscience, vote to shut the government down and hand even greater power to the trio of Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, and Russell Vought. This was a vote of conscience on behalf of the state of Maine and the people of the United States.
Appreciate you. We appreciate you, Brother King. We appreciate you. We just keep winning, don't we? We just keep winning. Yes, sir. We just keep winning. The hell with Democrats. Yeah, buddy. Let's do it.